Okay, guys, we are happy to be here with you. We may have a little bit of problem today with getting Vincent in from Africa. His internet has been a bit wonky, stormy, but hopefully he's going to pop back in. There he is again. It just depends on where he's bouncing around like a pinball machine. If he's bouncing off of a satellite or bouncing on an undersea cable. So, yeah, we are looking forward to catching up with everybody in culture this week for the Global Embassy of Culture. I know there's been a lot of talk about all the celebrations, but there's also been a lot of talk culturally of the success of the robots in China. And I know I sent a bunch of those videos to you, Stormy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think about the controversy that, you know, they said culturally, if the robot had done that well in another country, they wouldn't have attacked us. But because it's Chinese, we get attacked. I mean, is that a cultural?
I don't think so. I think that, you know, a lot of people are hesitant to embrace the robot culture and them being too good and too powerful at learning human behavior and things. I think that's a concern. So maybe that's where some of that stems from. But I'm sure that they would have reactions from certain segments of all populations, not just the Chinese.
Yeah, so true, so true. In some ways, I felt like I understood what they were saying, but then in other ways, I always think about, you know, Tim, the president of Apple, who says the reason we're making the Apple phones in China is because it actually is the best technology with the best factories. Then I'll flip it over to Vincent. We watched in Russia, the robot came out and it actually fell down on the stage and crashed. Did you get a chance to watch that video from Russia, Vincent?
No, I did not watch the one from Russia, but I was able to see the one for Xpeng. Is it Zupeng or Xpeng, where the robot was mimicking human-like action? And I see a future in robotics for robots imitating human behavior beyond just the regular robots doing things in a way that does not seem original. So I think that's the future in AI, and that's the one I was able to see. I don't think I saw the one for Russia.
Yeah, Yeah, I hope the best for Russia also. I was almost felt like that guy pushed the robot because he pushed it and hit it on its back and it flew kind of forward. So I was like, why did he do that? You know. Anything else culturally that anybody wants to bring up for this week? Celebrations, festivals. Of course, we finished Halloween was big here, the big Halloween holiday, and I'll throw it over to Stormy about the upcoming holiday in America.
Oh
She's
yeah.
she's
Thank
already rubbing her eyes every 5 minutes with the allergies here. We got
Oh yeah.
acorns, walnuts, leaves all over the place, guys.
Leaves. Yeah. We got it's definitely fall or autumn as some people call it around the world, but with that in America we have Thanksgiving, and that's usually traditionally with a turkey, a cooked turkey, and we uh, also have traditions of side dishes such as dressing or stuffing, which is made out of bread and usually celery and onions and uh, liquid from the turkey,
Yeah,
the juices from the turkey, and then gravy and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes. Um, just North Carolina is the sweet potato capital of the United States, so it's very prevalent here in North Carolina to have sweet potatoes or a sweet potato pie as part of the meal. And
huge cultural thing.
yeah, and so I usually my tradition, our tradition is we usually make a pumpkin pie that's from my grandmother's recipe, and then Marty makes the crust from a Julia Child uh, cookbook on how to cook.
Yep, I make my man Mountain Dean crust. I call it
Yeah, it's
big
pretty thick. Yeah.
big cultural time coming up here with Thanksgiving in America, and of course Halloween went just past. Also, we've been advertising our multi approach to culture. You may have seen on WhatsApp. I'm just looking at our WhatsApp feed over here, and you may see like all the holidays at this time of year, all the way through two Christmases, two New Years. So we celebrate a lot of culture, and it looks like people are active on Instagram today too, because we are streaming live on Instagram.
Oh,
We're
great.
going to have Maria Karalis come on here and talk with us about nutrition. But anything else anybody got going on that would like to share with what you're doing, what's
Yes.
happening? Yeah, Vincent, go ahead.
I was trying to go over the Sustainable Development Goals reports for this year, and it just reminded me that we are in 2025. And Mr. Anthony, the Secretary General, mentioned that he mentioned something that I just want to reiterate. He said, with just 5 years left, that we might just need to shift into overdrive. That is, with respect to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, with respect to culture, we might want to also consider the quality of what we do from time to time. And I believe that our guests today will do justice to the aspect of good health and well-being when it comes to SDG goals. And I believe that in order for us to be able to participate in ensuring that we achieve the goals, we have to ensure we pay attention to how we use our time. And I think that's one of the messages that we sent across this month from the Office of the Global Secretary. And I don't know if you have subscribed. If you have not subscribed, I'm speaking to our listeners, please subscribe to our newsletter so that you can get our monthly updates at the Global Embassy of Culture, so that we can also ensure that from time to time we remind you of the essence of good health and well-being, and then we send in updates and encouragements that keeps you going regardless of where you are at the spectrum of time. So that is the message we have from the Office of the Global Secretary of Culture. And just like the Secretary General of the United Nations mentioned, please, this is 2025. You have everything you need to also participate in ensuring that the sustainable development goals are achieved. Please ensure you also participate, and that is the essence of culture. Whatever we do each day also adds up to how we are able to achieve or it also adds to what we're able to do in the long term and how we also impact our environment as a whole. So this is an encouragement to all our listeners, and I thank you for also joining us today. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing up the SDG goals. I know Tim Hurd, those are really big to him up there in New York. Tim is a paying member with several of his team, are all paying members, and he heavily works with the United Nations every day. He's right there in the city and very well connected. And SDG, he just put a post out yesterday on LinkedIn that we all need to start working together. So very important, I would say, from Tim Hurd. And I would like to mention Maria Karalis is with us today. I'm going to bring Maria on. Maria is a registered dietitian nutritionist with over 35 years of experience and spanning clinical nutrition as well as the pharmaceutical industry. She brings a heart-centered approach, a practical approach to medical nutrition, which is nice for this chef, medical nutrition therapy. And she's busy supporting patients with conditions such as weight challenges, diabetes, hypertension, chronic kidney disease, disordered eating, and those beginning obesity medications or exercise programs. So she is going to be a great guest, extremely relevant for the fact that she is helping people that are beginning obesity medications. I know those are really popular. Wegovy, Mounjaro, many tirzepatide, many of them are out there, and the prices are coming down tremendously. But Maria also believes nutrition should feel empowering and not confusing. She helps patients cut through the noise of diet and culture with clear, evidence-based guidance tailored to everyone's lifestyle, your goals, or your values. And her approach emphasizes lasting and meaningful change over quick fixes. So in addition to her clinical work, Maria is a passionate speaker known for her relatable and engaging style on topics like mindful eating, which we could all use as Thanksgiving is coming up, self-care, and navigating food choices with confidence and compassion. So getting ready to invite you to start speaking, Maria. And you've got Thanksgiving in front of us here. I also noticed that Alf is on from Germany. He's going to check his camera to see if he's camera ready or if he can get on. But Maria, thank you as a registered dietitian. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's certainly a privilege to be a registered dietitian, somebody who spent her career exploring not just what people eat, but why they eat the way that they do. I want to bring up my first slide.
Okay. And let me make sure everybody can see that. There we go.
All right, here we go. We realize that food is never just food. It's identity, memory, comfort, and celebration. And it's how every culture expresses love. And in that way, nutrition connects us in a language that we all understand: body, mind, and spirit. So no matter where we come from, we share the same wish: to live well, love well, and stay well. Across the globe, you see it. People gathering over a meal, blessing their food, laughing together. And in every culture, food is both medicine and meaning. When I travel to Greece, I'm often reminded of this quote that you can see here on the slide. I'm reminded that meals are never rushed. They're experiences to be shared with family, layered with conversation, laughter, and gratitude. And studies do confirm it. People who eat together, who take time to connect, have lower stress, better digestion, and longer lifespans. So let's dive in and take a closer look at the key components of a healthy life. Today, I want to cover these 8 components. Not in great detail, but I want to touch upon all 8 of these: nourishment, mindful eating, hydration and simplicity, movement, social connection and community, faith, gratitude, and reflection, rest and recovery, and giving to others. Nutrition is so much more than counting calories or following the latest diet trend. It's about nourishment, giving your body what it needs to thrive while honoring your culture and your taste. Every culture offers nutritional wisdom. In Greece and Italy, the Mediterranean diet celebrates olive oil, seafood, whole grains and vegetables, foods rich in antioxidants and heart-healthy fats. In Latin America, beans, rice, and vegetables combine to form complete proteins, simple, nourishing, and affordable. In India, spices like turmeric, ginger, and cumin aren't just flavor, but they're powerful anti-inflammatory agents. These cultural practices reflect what modern science now proves. Whole foods, plant diversity, and moderation support long, healthy lives. So rather than chasing the latest diet trend, we can look to the wisdom that's been in our kitchen for centuries. In my practice, I often remind people how you eat matters as much as what you eat. Mindful eating, slowing down, engaging your senses, and giving thanks helps your brain and body communicate fullness and satisfaction. When we tend to rush through our meals, we disconnect from this internal rhythm. Different cultures do this naturally, blessing the meal, setting the table beautifully, or taking time to savor every single bite. So it's less about restriction and more about the respect for food, the farmer, and the moment. When we eat mindfully, food becomes nourishment, not noise. Another universal principle is simplicity. Water, herbal teas, and natural beverages form the base of many traditional diets. In contrast, modern ultra-processed drinks are loaded with sugar and additives and tend to crowd out the basics. A simple shift back to water and plant-based hydration has profound health benefits. I want you to think mint tea in Morocco or lemon water in Greece. It's one of the easiest, most often overlooked habits to improve energy and digestion. Movement as a way of life. I want to mention that we don't need a gym membership to live a healthy life. We just need daily movement every single day. Around the world, the healthiest populations, they walk, they climb, they stretch, they garden, and they even dance. Movement connects us to our environment and to other people. When we move daily, even gently, our bodies respond with vitality and our minds become clear. So movement is not just important for your body, but it's also important for your mental health. It's not about intensity, but it's more about consistency. So find something that you love to do every single day and incorporate it into your daily life. Social connection is so important. This may surprise some people, but it's as vital to longevity as diet or exercise. Studies of blue zones, those are the regions with the highest life expectancy, show that strong social ties are a universal factor. People eat together, support one another, and feel they belong. They live in community, not isolation. Whether it's a church group, a volunteer work, or family dinners, connection nourishes us in ways that nutrients alone cannot. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about faith as the anchor. When we talk about health, we often jump straight into food, movement, or sleep. But there's another dimension beneath all of that, and that's the spiritual dimension. That gives everything we do meaning. Across cultures and faith traditions, there's a universal truth. People are healthiest when they feel connected to God, to purpose, to community, to something bigger than themselves. This is where prayer, gratitude, and quiet reflection come in. Faith practices aren't just rituals. They are grounding rhythms that realign us when life feels chaotic. Prayer is not simply petition, but it's pause, it's breath. It's creating a moment where we remember, I'm not carrying this alone. In every tradition, I've noticed the same themes: moderation, fasting, generosity, and service. These practices, they teach us discipline, compassion, and humility. And these are qualities that seep into every part of health. Next, I want to talk about gratitude. Gratitude has real measurable effects on the body. It tends to calm the nervous system. It lowers cortisol, which is your stress hormone. It increases resilience. Gratitude shifts our mindset from what's missing to what's meaningful. And this is really important. Gratitude doesn't require perfection. It simply invites peace into the present moment. Every time I work with clients, I notice something. The ones that tend to be grounded in gratitude, they make changes from a place of peace and not pressure. And gratitude is very easy to incorporate into your daily life. I encourage my clients to journal every single day at the end of each day and to jot down 3 things they feel grateful for every single day. And it can be simple, small little things. And after 7 or 8 days of doing this consistently, people tend to wake up happier. Studies have shown that gratitude and consistently doing this responds in a very happy mindset. Quiet reflection. This means journaling, walking, or even sitting in silence. This helps us hear what our own life is trying to tell us. Reflection helps us slow down enough to make decisions that are aligned with our values, not our impulses. It's the antidote to burnout, which is very, very common today. Reflection brings clarity. It brings clarity to questions like what matters, what doesn't matter, and what needs to change in my life. Reflection can be transformational. I'm living proof of that. In the summer of 2024, when I was in Greece, I found myself with quiet mornings to fill. No phone, no agenda, just coffee, stillness, and a journal. What started as simple writing turned into clarity. I saw my life in 4 different buckets: spiritual, family, health, and career. And I had to face where I had drifted off. In that silence, God made space for honesty and direction. Those mornings didn't just give me rest, but they actually realigned my life. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, but every enduring tradition understands rhythm, seasons of work and seasons of rest. Sleep, stillness, and silence, they aren't just luxuries. They're how the body repairs, restores, and resets. Rest isn't optional. It's self-care in its purest form, and the one that we tend to often neglect. Lastly, I want to speak to the healing power of generosity. Recently, I attended a clergy laity assembly in Chicago. I met with several Chicagoland ministry leaders, and they reminded us that true health and wholeness aren't measured by what we gain, but it's measured by what we give. They spoke about generosity, whether through time, prayer, or presence. Transforms both the giver and the receiver. In every faith and culture, this truth holds steady. Giving lifts the spirit. Science now confirms what our faith has long taught us. Acts of kindness release endorphins. They reduce stress hormones, and they increase feelings of happiness and purpose. It's often called the helper's high. When we volunteer, comfort a friend, or simply extend compassion, we remind ourselves that we're part of something bigger. We move from isolation to belonging, from self-focus to shared humanity. Excuse me. This is the nourishment of the soul that complements the nourishment of the body. When we give from the heart, we become more like Christ, who gave himself for us. In giving, we don't lose, we actually grow. We receive peace, meaning, and joy that no diet or exercise can ever provide. Even when we know what to do, eat well, rest, connect, change can still feel very difficult. I have a background in motivational interviewing and ethnographic research, and I understand that these approaches start with one basic principle, and that's listening. Real change begins when somebody feels seen and heard, when we understand a person's culture, habits, challenges, and values. We can guide them towards steps that are realistic and sustainable, not perfection, just progress. Behavior change happens where science meets empathy. That's the space where people finally feel safe enough to grow. At the end of the day, what really matters most is how you see yourself. We spend so much time worrying about how others view us, our roles, our achievements, our titles, where we live, what car we drive. But real change begins internally. Your self-image shapes your choices more than any diet plan, more than any productivity tool or wellness strategy ever will. If you see yourself as somebody that's capable, deserving, and worthy of care, you naturally make different decisions. You honor your health. You tend to set personal boundaries. You show up for your life very differently. If you see yourself through a lens of self-doubt or depletion, you shrink, you delay, you tend to settle. The goal isn't to become somebody else, it's to remember who you already are. A person that God created with purpose, a person capable of growth, a person worthy of wellness, peace, and joy. How you see yourself becomes the foundation for every habit, every change, and every act of courage. I want to thank you for spending the Saturday morning with me, or Saturday afternoon or evening with me. I want to thank Marty at the Global Embassy of Culture and Jean at Speaking Success Secrets for shining a light on the values that unite us all. When we understand each other's cultures, we gain a deeper understanding of what health truly means. Not perfection, but wholeness. So let's continue to nourish both body and soul, share meals that bring joy, and build communities that heal, because wellness in every culture is the language of love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd like to echo your sentiments regarding giving ourselves a break and, realizing, like I was talking to my brother Joe yesterday and just telling him, honest, we're all doing the best that we can. And we often come up short and fail each day. including me. I know some people think I'm superhuman. I'm not. I sin each day against my God. And whoever you worship, I also appreciated your comments about a greater good in the universe. So if you are a Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you go to a temple, a synagogue, a church, if you go to the woods, which we often do with the Wiccans here, they have a lot of druids. If you go to wherever you go, that greater power in the universe. And I think the Dalai Lama said it best when he said, religion is not like required and necessary. If the only thing you have in life is compassion, you're good. So open that up for comments, because I really appreciated you mentioning that, the higher power and how to connect. And before I get off my soapbox, more recently, within the past 2 weeks of my doctoral studies to become a psychologist, Maria, was a huge study on Native Americans that was released in American Psychologist magazine, and how they do so much better with their association with spirits. And I told Stormy I wanted to talk to her through a plant where we would both be touching a plant, because they believe that there is a spirit in everything. And she kind of looked at, she's laughing. She's like, you want to talk to me through a plant? I was like, I know it's weird, but they believe that there's a spirit in everything, in every living thing, trees, plants. In a lot of ways, obviously eagles and birds flying, and a bear has a spirit, and so does a dog. And Roger Mortimer, he just made a comment from California. I just want to put that up again, because this guy is amazing. He had a Muscovy duck, Maria, was his best friend for years. He would walk around with this duck. And everybody knew about his duck, and his duck's name was Francis. So I want to get that out there in the universe. But regrettably, Francis passed away. And I told him we are going to reincarnate Francis 2, Francis 3, Francis the 4th. But man, can you imagine a duck for a pet? Just amazing. But yeah. Oh, go ahead, Stormy. Yeah, jump in there.
Yeah, I just was wanting to say a lot of that echoed. I did a business personal inventory yesterday, and it covered your work life, your relationships, your financial, your spirit, and your health. And then I needed to focus more in on my health and on my finances, and I see the connection between the two, because of having to pay more for doctors and different things like that, where if my health was better, I probably wouldn't be in certain financial situations of having. I'm very lucky to have great insurance and great medical coverage, but it still adds up after a little while. But I just wanted to say that it's connected to everything with your health, and like you said, the spirit, and then also even your work-life balance and different things like that. If your health is off kilter, then that can it goes back to your relationship with food and different things. So
I often remind my younger clients that are in their 20s and 30s, that the decisions they're making today will impact the health of their future self.
Yeah.
And we often talk about establishing healthy habits now when you're young, so these can carry you into your future self. And it's really important to take care of yourself now so you can live the life you want to live when you're older.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a question there. How can the government or leaders play a crucial role in promoting a healthy culture? This also is added to with any recommendations for leaders, government officials, and diplomats who are listening to us or watching this later. So,
How can the government or leaders play a crucial role in promoting a healthy culture? Walking the talk, I would say, is, I mean, they do a pretty good job. Governments tend to do a pretty good job of establishing guidelines for the.
Oh, I lost her for a second there. I apologize for that. But I'm sure that Maria will be right back with us here shortly. I think the answer to that question really is, it's very important, like she said, for them to walk the walk and talk the talk. Okay. So, like if you say exercise is important and stuff, then you should be out there doing that. And I know when Stormy ran for public office, she had net walking with Stormy, and we went all around on a mobile tour, um, visiting all kinds of people, of a population of about 100,000. And a lot of times we were at so many different new walking tracks, walking, that, it was really neat to see and to meet people. And different people came out and talked with Stormy about her campaign. Like there was one gentleman at a walking track, and he said, "Oh, I'm having all these problems with expenses and costs with finances and things from the hospital, and this hospital over here. Sorry about that, Maria. That is actually my fault. I kicked you out and hit the wrong button, so I'm going to take the blame for that."
No worries.
But I was answering your question and saying, like, a good example, and I'll throw it back to you in a second, Maria, but a good example was when Stormy was running for public office, we went around on tour for months, almost a year-long tour of a population of 100,000 people here. And one of the crazy things she did was she went to all these different walking tracks, and it was called Net Walking with Stormy, and we would walk. And we went to every park in our county that our county owns. She was running for county commissioner. And I mean, it was cool to see like a county commissioner out there exercising. But I'll throw it back to you, Maria, with that question. How can the government or leaders play a crucial role in promoting a healthy culture?
Leveraging evidence-based clinical studies and developing guidelines that are evidence-based, and looking at guidelines after a period of time so they don't let them become obsolete. So every 5 years, reevaluating the guidelines and making sure they still make sense. I think that's really important. Also, trying to be not biased. So making sure that there's no bias involved from industries that tend to influence guidelines, because it's gotten us into trouble before, especially with the food pyramid. And we have to be pretty careful with those types of guidelines. So making sure that all the available evidence is available to the committees that are crafting and writing these guidelines for the populations.
Yep, absolutely. Getting out there, keeping up to date with stuff, walking the talk, talking the walk. If you say it's important to exercise, then Clinton used to go running. They told him you can't run around Washington, D.C. anymore. And the only bad part was he would run into like a McDonald's. So then Saturday Night Live picked up on that and started, doing spoofs and skits. But it was awesome to see him like out there running. And we had like, 30, 40 people running with him. And one of his best childhood friends, Paul, he was the guy that pushed him out of the way. A car was coming towards the whole group and pushed him into the grass. And so Paul Leopoulos and Stormy and I were meeting with him at the Clinton Foundation. As just an amazing story. And I told Paul, yeah, it was so cool to see the president out there running through the streets of Washington, D.C. And he would wear like funky stuff, like a gray sweatshirt with Yale or something on it. We don't see enough of that now, whether it's Biden or Trump or whoever the president is or the prime minister. Where are they working out? Where are they playing tennis? Where are they doing pickleball? These types of things. So I think it is very important because seeing is believing. You can talk as much as you want to, and we know how important all this stuff is. Stormy and I are going to go walking today. And where are we going? We're going to go down to the brand new Grover walking track, Storm?
Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah. Our town, population 678, Maria, has done such a good job. Our extraterritorial jurisdiction is about 5,000, but just 678 people live here. They rebuilt our whole walking track. They installed outdoor workout equipment.
That's wonderful.
Rainproof.
Yeah, it uses body weight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Body weight exercises, and it has like what do you call elliptical machines?
Yep, isometrics. Yep.
Yeah. So it's
the basketball court too, honey.
Yeah, basketball court and playground and baseball fields. For a tiny little town, I think they got a grant to do that, but it's being used quite a bit. There's always somebody down there when we go walking. So it's that's another way I think that governments can provide public spaces for movement and exercise and different things like that. So that's really been a great addition to our workout instead of having to drive another 15 miles up to our gym, so we can get at least some kind of movement in whenever we're shorter on time.
And what Gray's dad, a good friend of little Barry, our daughter, he said, I can't believe this kid's outside. Wanted to meet Grayson outside, and he's here at this park. I can't believe he's outdoors. And I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, they wanted to meet here at the park. The adults are all here. They can go sit on a bench over there, but he just couldn't believe it. We're going to see Gray tomorrow. We're taking him to the Renaissance Festival. They're going to walk probably maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 miles tomorrow through the Renaissance Festival, the largest here in America. But also, we've recently taken little Barry to one of our big flower gardens here, Maria. So it's called the Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden. It is on the top 20 list for the world. And man, I often warn people, you better watch how far you walk out there, because it is endless. And you may find yourself 6 to 9 miles out, which is great, but you need to walk that to get back to the park. So
you can't call an Uber from over there, can you?
No. On a hot day, you had best have water with you, right? Because the heartbeat is going to be cranking.
Yeah.
So very important.
Yeah, that's a great way to get some movement in and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So bring a bottle of water with you. Watch how far out you go. Be ready. And when we come back, guys, I'm going to just say we're going to share a couple of things going on culturally around the world. We do have an update for the Global Embassy of Culture. Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to break for a few commercials. You're always welcome back. I always remind people this is not a Zoom call. I had one question already. How come there's not 20 to 70 people on? This is not a Zoom call. We do those actually, and those financial calls, minimum 400 people, generally 400 to 600 on big financial Zoom calls. You can scroll through pages of 100 apiece. This is not a Zoom call. This is a talk show. And thank you so much to Vincent from Africa for always hosting with us. We appreciate it so much. Maria, what's on tap for today? You got the whole day in front of you. What's on tap?
So I live in Chicago. I'm here in Indianapolis visiting my son. They're baptizing their daughter. It's my granddaughter. She's 4 months old, so she's being baptized today.
That's
so
great.
that's why I'm in a hotel, and I was supposed to come in today, and then I accepted this engagement, months back, and I didn't want to fall through on my commitment, so I decided to drive in, spend an extra night here, and be here ready to go this morning. So that's what's on the agenda today. I'm very excited to see my grandchildren. I've got 2 granddaughters, and I don't see them enough because they live about 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for making time for us today.
Absolutely. Anytime.
We really appreciate it. And guys, we'll be right back. Everybody grab a coffee, and we're going to wrap up today's show.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned. We'll be right back. Be sure to support our amazing sponsors, stop by, say hello, and explore how you can do business together. We truly appreciate their partnership and yours.
Every generation, every sacrifice. Our nation's service members have stood up for our freedom, our families, and our future. Now it's our turn to stand up for them. This year, you can honor their service in a deeply personal way by sponsoring a $17 Veterans Wreath. Each wreath is more than a symbol. It's a heartfelt tribute to the heroes who served and to the families who carry their legacy. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org to sponsor a wreath today. This isn't just a wreath. It's a personal gift to an American hero.
And that concludes another edition of Road Gang Radio live from the Fastport Studios at the historic Degas House. How you doing, guys? Jimmy Mack, Radio Nemo. We want you guys to tune in from 7 to 11 Monday through Friday here on RadioNemo.com. You can also find us at iHeart. You can find us on Odyssey. You can find us on, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and all points in between. Hope you be there. 7 to 11 in the center of the country, 8 to 12. Be there for Road Gang Radio and Nemo Nation.
play a game. खेल भी?
You know what? ये लाइफ सेट वाली लाइन है स्कैम।
Yun nga, Medla.
सारा लाइफ सेट करते करते पूरी लाइफ ही मिले हो जाती है।
Hey, Chef Outer here. Want to tell you about my Amazon best-selling memoir cookbook, A Chef is Born, chock full of recipes. Also ranked the 77th book of all time out of 99, according to the Book Authority.
It's a good book, but I'm a better chef than you.
Join former White House chef Marty Mangello as he brings to life colorful stories about America's presidents and first families that have occupied 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
Is when screaming guests are lit on fire inside the White House. So I know that everyone's thinking like, what did he just say?
It's time to be informed and entertained with Inside the President's Cabinet. Visit the website today at www.insidethepresidentscabinet.com.
If you happen to hear the leaf blower outside, that's the sound of progress, baby. That's the sound of freedom. We are here at the Fastport Studios in the historic Degas House. That is the broadcasting home of Radio Nemo. If you go to radionemo.com, if you go to Odyssey, if you go to iHeart, if you go to the TubeU, if you go to the Book of Face, we're in a lot of places talking to truckers and talking to the people who like to talk to truckers all across America. Told you what the Fastport Studios, by the way. You should go to fastport.com. If you do, you'll learn about that great company, too, that actually helps make veterans' dreams come true by giving them a purpose-driven life. I'm joined, in fact, by the guy who made the Fastport Studio possible, president of Fastport, Mr. Brad Bentley. How you doing? You enjoying this new studios we bring it to life?
Every day is a great day in New Orleans, but it's always fun to come to the studio and meet Mac.
Well, I got to tell you, we're going to get some donuts here later on, but for now, you should come on down to radionemo.com, and if you want to, come check us out on July 23rd. Big party going down. The leaf blower will not be here for that.
That's right, guys. Every day in New Orleans is a great day. So nobody knows that better than we do in New Orleans. Stormy, you were there, and we had the music banging. We went down on the speedboat. We were on the Mississippi River. We did everything.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mack with a grin and a plan called up two chefs with fire in their pan. He said, I want bold, I want rich and wild. Give me comfort food with a smoky smile. Stormy stirred and Marty dreamed, and what they made was a savory scream. Brisket Mac, Jimmy Mack, that flavor train ain't never looking back. Pulled beef melting, noodles divine, cheese so creamy. Stop your time from the pit to the plate. It's a southern snack. Raise your forks for the brisket.
who are paying every day to keep us on the air. We appreciate you so much. New sponsors you may have seen is Willing, J.A. Hinkle's Knives. Also, Stormy has done her share of purchasing Russell Stover chocolates, Qantas, Vacations, and Airways. So many sponsors. Your Disney card. Get your Disney card. In fact, with the way you want it designed, you have your choice of 8 different logos. You like Mickey, you like Goofy, whatever you want. We're so thankful to our sponsors, so many of them, and the Malhar Film Festival in India, also very, very, very good, doing good. Keep in touch with us with our International Film Festival. We have coming up early next year, March 4th and 5th every year, the United States Presidential Service Center International Film Festival. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to hit a drum roll. Let's get ready with a drum roll for everybody. We're going to find out what's going on with culture in the world today. And we're going to shoot on over. Can I get a gong from Vincent? Do we have a gong over there that you can give us a gong, Vincent? Do you have a large gong from Mongolia? Oh, he does! Oh my gosh. What are you doing with a gong in your living room? I have no idea why you personally own a Genghis Khan gong in your Thank you, Vincent, for hitting the gong for us. We're going to share now some quick cultural news as we say goodbye to you until next month, guys. A little bit sharing for you. And we'd like to just wrap around the world a bit, see what's going on. But I do have some updates for you. I'm going to put them down here on the bottom, coming to us today from Iran. Some sad news. There was a big fire in a temple. And culturally, that probably is one of the worst things that can ever happen. We have a bunch of different things going on culturally in the news. And let's share that real quick as we say goodbye to everybody. And I'll actually ask Stormy if she sees anything interesting that she would like to have me click on and run over to see. But I did notice the big fire right there at the Azar Barzin Mer. There was a fire temple, and a treasury of cultural identity and history was lost in ancient Iran. So that was just terrible. If I was to go in there and click on that, this was a big fire in an ancient temple that just occurred today. In fact, this is breaking news today from the Tehran Times. So prayers lifted up for that. And I can share that tab here, in fact, for people to see what's going on. This is a lot of things they said, important artifacts and architecture from the Sassanid period in Iranian history. So huge fire. And we always get comments like, wow, you guys are even covering stuff like in Iran. So yes, we're interested in culture from all over the world. Also, we had running anything there that caught your interest, Stormy?
No, not really. I think some of it's a little too
I know
it's into political.
Yeah, I know the Day of the Dead is a huge thing nowadays with the cultural renaissance and how Californians are reclaiming Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
This was a big part when we were in Disney. They had all this stuff in the Mexico and Epcot.
Yep. And then it's tied into the movie Coco.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that movie, it's a great representation of Mexican culture with their Day of the Dead celebrations and what it all means, and what the family means to them. And so it's a great representation, and that's a great celebration that they do every year on November the 1st is All Saints Day.
Yeah. So this was in the news today also, guys. And going back to the news, Anything, Vincent, that caught your eye that you would like to zoom in on today? We've got Vietnam's rich heritage, a cultural pillar here with the Vin Group. Also in Birmingham, Alabama, where Brad Bentley is from. Brad was just down there for some big games. Amazing to see Alabama and Japan celebrated a big economic cultural dinner and had some guest speakers in Birmingham. So Brad Bentley, shout out to you down there for the Japan America Society of Alabama's 2025 annual celebration dinner. This was at the Renaissance Birmingham Rossbridge Golf Resort and Spa. So lots of cool stuff going on around the world, guys. Lots of cool stuff. And yep, I think that is really all of the news fit to print for today culturally. The Global Embassy of Culture. Visit our website. We update our website every day with brand new articles. There's usually 2 or 3 on the front page. And click in and enjoy. And have a great Thanksgiving. We will see you in December.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you so much.
sounds great.
All
Thank
right,
you.
guys. Be
Yes,
good and try to stay out of trouble, please.
All right, thank
Have a
you.
great season ahead. Bye.